Hi, my name's Bob Strassner. I'm a lowboy driver for Power and Construction Equipment. I've been doing this job for almost 7 years now. A day in the life of a lowboy driver is we show up at the office every morning and we get with our dispatcher, and he usually has a list of equipment that needs to be moved for that day. Sometimes our own, sometimes customer equipment. We'll take that list and we'll pick them off as the day goes on. We'll pick up a machine, deliver it at the customer, and move on to the next one. Always ready for changes. We work on the fly. It's usually an early start and a late finish. 6 in the morning, and we don't usually know when we're going to get done. Sometimes we're done at 2, sometimes we're done at 8 o'clock at night. It all depends on the workload for the day. We do a lot of emergency work for the power company and the gas company. If an emergency arises, we're on call and we go. And we move what needs to be moved and get the job done. Important impacts of our job on society. As a lowboy driver, I guess, as I said before, when there's an emergency, whether it's power or a water main break, someone's got to move the excavators to break the ground and all the equipment to clean it up and finish the job, and that's what we do. We're there when they call and we're there when they're done. The early way to get started in this field is probably to go to BOCES and do some kind of a work-oriented type schooling. Learn how to operate some equipment through the BOCES program. If you can't get your Class A to drive these trucks until you're older, but to get yourself involved in the construction industry is the best way to get your foot in the door. You have to be 21 years old in order to get your Class A CDL. There's some time involved between graduating and when you can get that driver's license, but immersing yourself in the industry is a great way to build a reputation as a hard worker. Our company will pay for you to get your licenses and your endorsements and any extra training you might need to do some of the ancillary stuff that we do. If you're here and you're a hard worker and you show up every day, they'll take care of you and get you the training and the credentials you need. To operate a lowboy in that configuration, you need your Class A driver's license and your air brake endorsement. That's all you need. In order to get your endorsements, you have to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles. You have to take a test. There is a written test, multiple choice test for your Class A, which is the combination truck and trailer. You also have to pass a test for your air brakes, because all trucks that size have air brakes instead of hydraulic brakes like your car. Those are essentially the 2 tests that you have to pass in order to get the opportunity to go on a road test. Now that's where the pass or fail rate is kind of high, because it's hard to get practice in something like that. So there is extra schooling you can do. There's places around that will train you how to drive something like that. If you don't have a friend or a place like this or an uncle, or if you work on a farm to kind of learn how to do that, there is additional schooling you can do in order to get that license. Some soft skills that are required in order to be a lowboy operator is you got to be willing to come in early. You got to be timely. You have to show up on time every time. No call-ins, because there's a lot of people who are relying on us to do what we do every day. You have to be able to work on your own. You have to be able to make decisions on the fly, because you're going to be on your own a lot. The stakes are pretty high. It's easy to get hurt. It's easy to damage equipment if you're not careful. You need to be able to work well with others when you arrive at the job sites, and when you're at a customer's place of business. You have to be good at talking to people and working with strangers. You also need to have a good work ethic. You got to have attention to detail. You got to understand all of the legal requirements for chaining down your machine, how much chain to use for the weight of the machine, how to flag for the width of the machine. You have to understand all the special permitting that goes along with oversized, overweight loads You just gotta apply yourself and show up every day and be willing to go the extra mile. The reason why I picked this job is my father was a truck driver from the time I was an infant until currently. And out of high school, I went to work in construction. I kind of got myself involved in the field and saw lowboy drivers out there, dump truck drivers, and I thought that'd be pretty cool, since I actually had a leg up on people because I had someone who could teach me how to drive something like that, and he did, and I enjoyed it, and I also enjoy construction, and I figure lowboy driving is the best combination in my mind of construction and truck driving wrapped into one job. We get to play with big cool trucks, we get to play with bulldozers and the excavators. It's a pretty cool job. Really enjoy doing it. So, as a lowboy driver, you will make a pretty decent wage. If you start young and you have inexperience, you still will get a decent wage because there's a lot of responsibility resting on your shoulders. The average pay for a starting out lowboy driver, if you have a less experience, I would have to say would be in the low teens, somewhere in there, 17, 18, 20 bucks an hour, depending on your experience. Every season, if you work through and you don't have any accidents and you're reliable and you get good reviews, the potential for advancement in pay is definitely there, because good drivers are hard to find. Good lowboy drivers are even harder to find. So usually when companies like ours and other construction companies in the area get a hold of one, they don't like to let them go. They will pay to keep you. As a lowboy driver, or as any operator in the construction field, you are required to maintain a certain physical level. Every couple years you do have to pass a DOT physical where they make sure you can see and you can hear and you are physically capable of conducting the work that you're asked to do. Also, you are randomly drug screened. In the event of an accident, you will be subject to a drug test and an alcohol test. When you come to work, it's time to go to work, and if you get in an accident, you will be held responsible. You also want to maintain a clean driving record. Even if you're getting in trouble on the weekends in your own vehicle or on your way home from work, that's still going to affect your driving record on a big truck, which is also going to affect your company's driving record. The money they pay for insurance, so they definitely want you to have a clean driving record. My favorite part of this job is the hard work that is encompassed in this job. I enjoy the long days, the early starts, the sweat, the braving cold in the wintertime. The challenge of the job is my favorite part, because not a lot of people want to do the job because it is hard, and I get a lot of pride out of doing it very well, and I enjoy the fact that my colleagues and coworkers all respect how well I do my job, and that goes a long way. A little bit of pride goes a long way. Back in high school, I had no idea the money and career potential that there is in the construction industry and the trades. We were always pushed to go to college and get your degree. There is great potential for great salary and a good career and a lifelong job in the construction industry, whether it's lowboy driving or equipment operating or laboring or carpentry, masonry. There's a lot of really secure, well-paying jobs that are going to be around forever in the construction industry. A little bit of hard work and some dedication, and definitely a good lifestyle that can be made in the construction industry. High school, if you don't know how to get your foot in the door in the construction world, go to a local construction company, one like this or anyone, and tell them you want a job. You'll be a runner, you'll be a laborer. There's always a way to get your foot in the door. There's guys around here who, fresh out of high school, show up, They want a good paycheck, and they'll make deliveries of pickup truck size stuff to job sites, or they'll run parts for the shop. You got to start. Sometimes you got to start at the bottom and work your way up. All you got to do is take it upon yourself to walk in the door and tell them you're willing to work hard, and they'll find something for you to do.